Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. My name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops, and I live in the southwest of England. I also sell pretty yarn, which I'll talk more about later. In this episode, I'm going to share a little bit about the Summer Wool Festival, which was last weekend. I'm going to share what's on my needles. I've got two new cast-ons. I've got a finish, two finished projects. One has been on my needles for a long time, and I have another problem with a pair of socks, which I'll tell you more about later. I'll also tell you a little bit about the yarn that's left over from the Summer Wool Festival. I have a very special offer, which is for a very limited period of time, so if you want a big discount on some beautiful yarn, make sure you don't miss that. And I'll put all the details and all the links, everything I talk about below. And I have a new purchase, and I think that's about it. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and I'd love it if you would leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of this episode, what you're knitting, where you live, and what the weather's like with you at the moment. Here in the UK, our official heatwave is over. Last time I recorded, we were in the middle of a heatwave, I think. It's now over, officially, I think, but it's still very warm and it's still fairly dry. Today has been a bit sort of overcast, looking like it's about to rain every 5 minutes, but it's been very, very warm and very, very humid, very unpleasant, very sticky and horrible. So it's not very nice, and it's not nice enough to be able to sit in the garden because there's no sunshine. So let's get on to what I finished. So the first thing I finished is my brioche Mobius cowl. I can't actually show it to you because it's blocking, so I will insert a little blocking video after this segment. I am also thinking about, I have been recording stuff for a separate project vlog on that project, but I need to check whether I've recorded enough. But I managed to finish this when I was away over the weekend at the Summer Wool show. The only thing I didn't manage to do was the cast off. So I got halfway around the cast off on Sunday morning before we headed to the show, and then I didn't really feel like doing it in the car on the way home. So I cast off yesterday and then I blocked it last night. So I'll show you the video of the blocking later, but I'll just talk a little bit about the project because I am thinking about knitting it again. It's a mini skein collection called Yak Sock Rainbows from Yarn Unique, and I'll put the link below. And I do have a bit of yarn left, so these are the colors that I use. So I started off with that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and then that one, and then I used some grey Lang Marina 200 as the background color, if you like. So there were two colors I didn't use at all, those two colors, and I didn't use all of any of the others. So the most I used was the final color, which I also used for a couple of plain rounds at the end and the cast off, so that's why I've used more of that one. So the others, I have got a little bit left. I haven't weighed them, but I would guess probably about 5, 6, 7 grams, maybe. Probably about 5 grams. So I probably used about half of each mini skein. So I don't know what to do with these, what I've got left. But I should have thought about before I started this project is that 100 grams of sock yarn is quite a lot. It's 400 meters, and I was only knitting a cowl. So if I was using 100 grams of sock yarn and the same amount in the grey yarn, that would be 200 grams. That makes quite a big project. So I should have really thought that I could have made this cowl out of just the 100 gram mini skein set, but I didn't think about that till I was like through the second color, and then I realized that I was if I knitted through all the colors it would be way too big. So I didn't really think about that before I started. So that's why I didn't use all the colors in the mini skein set. So I think 100-gram mini skein set should be fine. So what I'm planning to do is to re-knit it. In my online shop, I stock Monos or Uruguay's yarns. And they do mini sets, Fina mini sets. So I only have 2 colors. I'm going to use one of these because I won't be ordering any more now till YarnAddict in September. So that's one of the colorways, which is what I'm thinking about using. And then the other colorway, which is also an option, is this one. So this one is called Henrietta, and this one is called Sybil. And I think I'm going to use that colorway, but I'm also very tempted by this colorway. I really would like to use a mixture of the two, to be quite honest, because there are some colorways from this one I really like. Sorry about the rustling of plastic. And there are some colorways from this one I quite like, and there's some I'm not so keen on. But I think overall, I think I really like this one, so I think I'm going to go for that one. So I wanted to see if I can make it out of 100 grams of a mini skein set. Because lots of indie dyers and companies do mini skein sets now, and I think sometimes people are not quite sure what to make with them. So that's what I thought I would do next. Well, I don't know whether I'm going to do it next or not. I'm actually going away to Norway at the end of August for, I think it's about 10 days. And I was thinking this would make quite a nice project to take with me because it's not too big, and it's probably something I could complete in 10 days. I think this one that I just made took me about 10 days. Yeah, probably about 10 days to finish. So I'm thinking that would make quite a nice project to take with me when I go to Norway. I kind of would like to knit it before I go to Norway, but I also have quite a few other projects I need to be getting on with. I have quite a few projects I need to design and knit for workshops this autumn. I've been asked to teach some extra workshops covering projects that I wouldn't normally teach, so I need to design and make those things. And then there's some other project workshops I already had booked in that I need to design projects for. And I also have deadline at the end of August, and I have 3 deadlines at the end of September and 1 in early October. So I have a lot of deadlines coming up, so I need to think about those as well. So we'll see. So that's why I'm thinking I might put off the second Mobius brioche cowl until I go to Norway at the end of August. And then what I was thinking about doing is getting the pattern all written up, knit up the second sample, and then maybe even send it off to my tech editor before I go on holiday, so she can do the first look through while I'm away, and then I can come back with a finished cowl and then finish off the pattern and get it ready for YarnAddict at the end of September. So that's my plan, but we'll see how that goes. Let's look at the second thing I finished. These socks have been on the needles for a while. I think I meant to go back through my Instagram and double check, but I bought this yarn in Norway last Christmas, so I'm pretty sure I cast it on while I was in Norway. I'm actually going to see if these socks fit Simon. They fit me fine, but Simon's only one shoe size bigger than me, so I might see if these fit him and give them to him. I wouldn't let him try them on because I want to photograph them and talk about them on the podcast first, so I wouldn't let him try them on yet. But I put one of them on my sock blocker, the other one it's not on the sock blocker, but this is the only sock blocker that really is the right size for my feet, but I can't find the second one. So the yarn is Regia. I think it's Regia Design Line by Calf Facet, I think. I bought it in Norway at my mum's local yarn shop. They do quite a lot of sock yarn there. and I really liked this colorway when I bought it. I'm less keen on it now, which is why I'm thinking maybe I should give it to Simon, because I've done a lot of socks myself this year, so I'm thinking he could have these maybe. He quite likes the colorway as well. So when we went to Norway over Christmas, we went on a boat trip in the Oslo Fjord, and I'm pretty sure I was knitting on these then, because I tried the Fish Lips Kiss heel for the first time. I bought the pattern many years ago, but I never got around to using it. The Fish Lips Kiss heel is, the pattern is just for the heel, and it's a short row heel. But loads of people rave about it, and I don't really like short row heels, but I bought this pattern years ago, never got around to using it. And then eventually I decided I would try and do it. And first attempt at the heel I wasn't happy with, and I ripped it out. And then I redid it, but I can't remember whether I redid it as the Fish Lips Kiss heel, or whether I used the basis of the Fish Lips Kiss heel but did German short rows instead of the short rows used in the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I'm not sure. They're the shadow short rows. I'm not sure, shadow wraps or something. I'm not sure. But I wasn't very happy with them, but they look okay. They're a little bit loose and baggy in places. Can you see that there? It's a little bit loose and baggy. So I'm not 100% happy with them. I can probably try and tighten some of these stitches up. Like this one, for example, I can pull it through a bit. I'll try to do that now. I can like pull it through and then like fasten it up a bit, so I can tidy it up a bit. But I don't know, I've tried short row heels before. I'm happy with short rows in all the other situations where I use them, but I've tried them on socks before and not been happy with them. I normally do, for stripy yarn, I normally do an afterthought heel, and I'm much happier with that. So I will not be trying this type of heel again for the foreseeable future. The second sock has been on hold for quite a while, because I got kind of past the heel, I guess to about there, and then they just got left in a project bag and ignored for months. And then when I was getting stuff ready to take with me for this weekend away at the summer wool show, I picked this up and I thought, right, let's try and see if I can get this done. And I actually got it done. I think I got it done on Saturday, or most of it on Saturday anyway. So yeah, finished that. So I'm glad to have those off the needles, because they've been on the needles for way too long. And then I also got a second pair of socks kind of partially done. Now, if you've been watching, if you're a regular viewer, you will know that I have a bit of a history, as in I've done this once this year, of finishing a sock and then losing it. Did find it again a couple of months later, but I've kind of done a similar thing again. So I used this yarn. It is Little Bird Sock, I think. Yeah, Little Bird Sock from Lottie Knits. I used this yarn for a design that was in Knitting Magazine, not last month, the month before. And I had 100-gram skein and 80-gram partial skeins, which was 80 grams left. So I thought maybe I could get a pair of socks out of 80 grams. So I divided it into two. I took it on holiday with me to Spain in June. And I started the toe, because I have a picture of me at the airport where I've knitted like that much of the toe, or finished the toe, when I'm about to board the plane. Anyway, they got put on hold for a while and I didn't work on them for ages. So I grabbed these to take with me for the summer wool show, but I couldn't find the second ball of yarn. Now, I know while I was on holiday, they were both in the project bag, so I wouldn't lose it. And I thought it was still in the project bag, but it wasn't, and I can't find it. Now, I do have a full skein of this, so I will be able to finish them. But the plan was to knit half the skein and see how long I could make the sock. Now, I normally do, lately I've mostly been doing socks that have an afterthought heel, but because this is a solid yarn, I decided to do gusset and heel flap, because I've not done that for a while. And I've got two problems. One, I made the foot too long, because I wasn't basically following my own instructions. And I was kind of second guessing myself. So I made the foot too long. So I need to shorten the foot. So the easiest way to do that without having to re-knit a whole, if I'm going to unravel it, basically, if I'm going to unravel it to shorten the foot, I would have to unravel it right back to like halfway down the third and start the gusset increases earlier. Then I'd have to do all the gusset increases, all the heel flap, all that kind of stuff again, which is a lot of knitting. So what I was thinking about doing was cutting the cast on here at the toe and unraveling the toe and a few rounds of the third, and then re-knitting the toe from the top down. That's probably the easiest way to do. It means it won't match the second sock, but that's fine, I don't mind that. But I also didn't quite have enough yarn to do the number of rib I want, and the leg is not as long as I wanted it. So I don't know what to do really, whether to break into the second skein, the full skein I have left, and so I can make the leg a bit longer. I also think the heel flap is a bit too long. It's the way I always used to do the heel flap, but it just feels like it's a little bit too long, so I could have done with making the heel flap slightly shorter, which means I would have had to increase less for the gusset. So if I rip back till a few rows down into the gusset, so that I do a few gusset increases, and that will make the heel flap shorter. If you've never knitted socks, this probably makes no sense, but I could do that. So, but I can't decide what to do, and I haven't bothered deciding what to do. So at the moment they're in a pouch and they're going in timeout till I decide what I'm going to do about that. The pink socks I finished on the way up to some wool festival. I think I finished most of that in the car on the way up. And then the stripy socks I finished the first day. I decided I really needed another sock project, so I had something to knit on the second day, and also something to knit on the way home. So one of the stores that was near me that I walked past a few times was a dyer that's new to me called All Wool That Ends Wool. Very colourful label. And this is the 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon sock yarn. It has 425 meters per 100 gram, and it's called Glow Sticks, and it is amazing. So it's sold in a hand wound ball like that, and she had loads of different colors, and I was very tempted to buy nearly all of them, but this one really called to me, and I got it, and I cast on Sunday morning before we left for the show, and I finished a toe. And then actually no, I cast on Saturday evening. I think I finished the toe, and then I knitted probably about there in the afternoon of the show, a little bit in the morning and rest in the afternoon, and then I knitted the rest on the drive home. This, because it's stripy, I'm doing an afterthought heel, so I put the waist yarn in for the afterthought heel by halfway home in the car, and then I knitted the rest. So I'm only about 5 rounds I think from where I need to start a rib. So I'm doing 70 rounds, and I've got 63 rounds. So I'm doing 70 rounds on the leg and then 30 rounds of rib. So they will be quite long. Yeah, I really like that. Those colours, aren't they fabulous? So the colour is called Glow Sticks, and it's the 75-25 merino nylon base. And the company is All Wool That Ends Wool. I'll find their website and pop it below, but I just love that colourway, and I'm really excited about knitting them. But they will go on my kind of project that stays in my handbag now, so I probably won't be finishing them that soon because I have so much other stuff I need to knit. So they will be a longer term project. Might try and see if I can finish them before I go to Norway at the end of August. If not, I might take it with me to try and finish when we go to Norway. What I'll probably do is see if I can finish the first one before we go to Norway, and then maybe knit the second one while I'm in Norway, but we'll see. So when we got home yesterday, I needed to cast on for a new project because I'd finished a pair of socks, I'd finished my brioche thing, and I also have several projects I need to design and knit up for workshops this autumn. So I cast on the first one yesterday. I knitted a swatch just to work out roughly what my tension for this yarn in stocking stitch would be, and then I used that as a rough idea to work out how many stitches I would need, so I could work out what the pattern repeat could be, the number of stitches in the pattern repeat, so I could sketch out some patterns. and my original tension in stocking stitch, which was just plain stocking stitch, was a little bit looser than it is in colorwork, so I ended up ripping out my first idea and casting on again, which was fine. I knew there was a risk that could happen. Now this has not been blocked or pressed or anything, so it does look a little bit messy because colorwork really does benefit from blocking. But this is what I'm knitting so far. I'm nearly halfway, I think. I'm not going to tell you what this is, so let me know below if you have any guesses of what you think this is. I might record a separate project vlog on this. I don't know, I'll see. I'm gonna design at least 2 different versions for this particular item, possibly as many as 4, but we'll see how long they take. So this is what I knitted yesterday. It wasn't, I knitted on other stuff yesterday as well, but yeah, really happy with it. It fits the item I needed to fit, so I'm very pleased with it. So let me know what you think this is. The yarn is Lang Merino 120 in colorway 121, which is the blue, and the grey is 324. So yeah, happy with that. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, so let me know below in the comments if you think you know what it is. So I've just updated my website with all the yarns left over from the Summer Wool Festival. Summer Wool Festival was really good, really enjoyed it, but festivals are not quite back to pre-COVID levels yet. There's still a little bit, the footfall is still a little bit lower than what you would hope for. So it wasn't quite as busy as I'd hoped, but I did really enjoy it. It was nice to get out and see people. I taught a workshop on this Sunday. I taught continental knitting. I had 12 knitters for that, and they all really enjoyed it. So it was really good fun. So these yarns are now on the website, and I will just show you a few of my favorites. I'm doing a special offer. I will put all the details below because I haven't decided yet exactly what the code will be and the end date, but it'll probably be just for a few days after this video goes live. So do check the details below this video. I'll put the code and the link and the end date of the discount below this video, so do go and check that out. So let me just show you a few of these yarns. So I recently started stocking Monocell Uruguay. Now, Monocell Uruguay is a company obviously based in Uruguay. They are a fair trade company, not-for-profit company that was created in the late 60s to provide work for local women so they can stay in their local communities and look after their families and make money. And they dye the most amazing yarns. I've been a big Monocell Uruguay fan for years. I used to design a lot for their previous distributor, and then when they went out of business, Monos kind of fell off my radar for a few years, but I've done some designs for the current distributor, which is coming out soon, and I'll tell you more about that when those designs are available. And I decided to start stocking them on my website and when I do shows. So I'm having a lot of my previous magazine designs knitted up in Monos Uruguay at the moment, just because it's the quickest way of generating some designs, and I'm also using it for some new designs, including a brioche project. I will try and see if I can insert a picture here if I remember, but I have a brioche project coming out hopefully later this month, which takes 2 skeins of this. So this is Monos Fino. It's the same base as the Silk Blend yarn. It's 70% extra fine merino and 30% silk, and it is really gorgeous. And can you imagine can you guess which ones are my favorite colorways? Love these colorways. I used these 2 for the brioche design, I think. So these 2, yeah, for the brioche design that's coming out soon. I also used this for Catalina, which is a shawl that was published recently. I can't show it to you because it's in the box that I took with me to Summer Wool Show, and I haven't unpacked that yet. One of these will make a small shawl, 2 will make quite a big shawl. I am actually thinking about designing something with that soon, because I love that colorway, maybe even a garment. So there are some quite bright colorways, there are some more neutral colorways. There's a grey, there is a red, like a deep red, and there is a multicolored colorway, and there is like a creamy colorway, which one of my sample knitters is knitting up at the moment into a new design for me. So that's some of the Fino colorways. I'm just going to dump those on the floor for a second. And then we've also got the Merino yarn. Now it feels very similar to the Fino, but this is actually 100% superwash merino, but it is so soft. It feels like it has silk in it, even though it doesn't. It's so soft and amazing. That colorway is amazing. I really like this. It's called Violet. No, it's not. Yeah, no, Violetta. Violetta it's called. It's like a navy blue with like a hint of purple, I would say. More blue than purple to me, but I love that colorway. I'm about to send this off to one of my sample knitters to knit up a new sample for me. I've got that colorway, which is beautiful, multicolored colorway, and I've got this. Is gorgeous. Look at that, pale blue and lilacs, and there is like a silver grey colorway I can see up there. Let me have a look. And there's a silver grey colorway. No, that's not silver grey. There's a pink colorway and a silver grey colorway. And I've also got a like a really deep red colorway. So some beautiful colorways. This has 800 meters per 100 grams, so 1 skein is more than enough for a large shawl. This merino, and I have loads of patterns that is suitable for this. Any of my shawl patterns I use this lace ball or lace ball 100, which has 800 meters per 100 grams. You can use this. And I've got some new patterns coming out soon. The one I released recently called Caltha is using this yarn, just 1 skein. So if you wanted to treat yourself, I would grab one of these. That's all the colorways plus a red one. I think there's only 1 skein left of the red one. So yes, lots of pretty yarns. I've also got lots of the Sauber Ball 100, Lace Ball 100, Lace Flower and Sauber Flower, and right at the top here we got some Sauber Pattern yarns. So the video I took of my stall at the show before we opened, I will add that now so you can see what all the yarns looks like. So do check below for the discount code, and then it's only valid for a few days, so be quick if you want to use it. If you're watching this later and the discount isn't there, then I'm taking it away. Make sure you sign up to my newsletter to make sure you don't miss that, and any future special offers I may have. So do go and check that out. This is like a mini product review, but I got this a few months ago. Somebody I follow on YouTube and Instagram, she's called Natalie. Her Instagram handle is Nitty Natty, and she has the Loving Stitches YouTube channel. And she uses this a lot, and she recommended it, and I looked up what her model that she was using, but I didn't buy it. And then a few months ago I was in a workshop and we were talking about this, and somebody said, oh yeah, I've got that. Pulled it out of her bag, and it happened to be the same model that Natalie had recommended. So I went and ordered it, and it is a neck light. Have you used one of these? I wasn't sure how comfortable it would be, whether it would feel too heavy, because I have problems with my neck, so I don't want anything heavy on my neck. But it's basically a neck light. So it's 3 intensities, and when you sit with it like that, and you can like angle it and move it in and out and things, and angle it up or down. So there is some flexibility there. You've also got this light on the back here, so you can change the color. So I prefer the whiter light, really. And it's fairly light, and I keep forgetting to use it. So when we went away this weekend, I decided to take it with me, because sometimes hotels can be a little bit dim. The light isn't that great, and because I was doing brioche, I kind of want to see what I was doing. So I took it with me this weekend. So you can turn one on or both. And I like it. I used it quite a bit this weekend because the hotel was a bit dim in the evening after it went dark. So I used it quite a bit, and I like it. There are 2 things I don't like about it. I wish it came with like a travel case, so I could put it like that and put it inside a case that would kind of keep it secure. Instead I just like popped it into my handbag like this. And the problem with that is that the light that switches the light on is on the outside here. So when I put it down like that, this would sometimes get switched on in my bag. So a couple of times I reached into my bag to get something and I found it on. It is rechargeable, so it has a USB Type-C charging thing. Comes with a charging USB lid, and it's the same charger that my phone uses. So from that point of view, it's quite convenient because I can use the same charger as I use for my phone. But I don't like the fact that you can switch it on. If it touches anything in your bag, it switches on. So I don't like that. I probably have project bags that I could pop it in that are this size, but it still wouldn't solve this problem, I don't think. So if it come with a case or something, or this switch had been on the inside, I think then I could have folded it like that, and it would have solved a lot of my problems. But I really like it. It's fairly light. Or if there was like a switch on it, I would switch it off completely, because I can imagine putting this in my bag, especially if I'm traveling, and then if that gets switched on and I don't notice it, and then I pick it up to use it and find it's flat. So yeah, quite like it. Very useful, quite small, easy to take with you when you're traveling and stuff. So if you were thinking about getting one of those and you haven't been sure about it, then I highly recommend it. I don't really need to use it at home, because in my chair in the lounge I have a overhead light just behind my chair that comes over my head, so I can see my knitting. So I don't really need to use it at home, although I guess it is useful if I knit in another room of the house, which I don't normally do. But it definitely will be useful for traveling, so I really like it, and I will leave the link to where I got it below. I got it on Amazon, so if you're not in UK, you might want to search for it on your Amazon in your country, because you know, for the shipping and that kind of thing. But yeah, really happy with that. It's called Glocusant. Anyway, I'll link it below, and then you can have a look at it if you're interested in that kind of product. And when we came back after the weekend, a new issue of the Knitter arrived. I don't know if it's in the shops yet, because it only arrived yesterday, I think. Or no, I think it arrived on Saturday, or Friday or Saturday while we're away. So I'm assuming maybe it's in the shops already in the UK, or it will be in the shops this week. It is issue 179. That's the cover of it. Lovely design, lovely model on the cover. I will show you my design. It's got a men's design in it, which is quite nice to see. There's some really nice articles, some really pretty hand warmers. They're really nice, aren't they? Very pretty. And then it has my design, which I will show you. Let me just, right, there we go. So a nice little summer top with an all over lace pattern and just very sort of short cap sleeves. It's knitted in 2 pieces, so the front is in 1 piece and the back is in 1 piece, I think. Oh no, I tell a lie. It's knitted in the round to the underarm. It helps if I know what, if I remember how I design things. I think it's actually knitted in the round to the underarms, and then the front and back is knitted separately to the shoulders from the underarm, and then the shoulders are joined by working a 3 needle cast off. And then you just pick up stitches around the neckline and around the armhole and do a few rounds of garter stitch. The yarn is Rowan. Where's the yarn? Rowan. Oh yeah, Rowan Summerlight 4-ply. So it's 100% cotton yarn. Really like Rowan Summerlight. It's one of my favourite kind of summer yarns, and I've used it quite regularly over the years. It's called Paul Dew Cove. Paul Dew is a place in Cornwall. Really pretty. Nice summery top, but you can also use it laboured over long sleeve t-shirts in the winter or autumn, for example, or knitted in a wool or wool blend yarn if you want something that's a bit warmer for the winter. So if you're thinking it's too late to knit the summer top now for this year, then you can layer it over a long sleeve t-shirt in the winter or knit it in a wool yarn for a bit more wintry look. So that's my design for this issue, and then it's got some really nice designs. It's got a poncho by Georgia Farrell, really pretty Farrell top. That is by Mary Henderson. She does some amazing Farrell stuff. It's got a few sort of waistcoats or vests. That one, really pretty, by Sarah Hatton. And it's got a very pretty cardigan by Sean Brown. Very nice textured pattern. This one is quite interesting. This is by Daria Tubiana. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Daria Tubiana. This top here. Now, I don't think you can see it in here, but I don't know how. I haven't actually looked at it that detailed, but I think this stitch pattern down the bottom, I think that's actually stitched on afterwards. That's what it looks like, but it's really nice, but I haven't looked at it properly yet. It's got a yarn review. It's got some little socks and a pretty scarf, lacy scarf. Caroline Bourne is doing her 3rd part of her cigarette series. Caroline runs a local yarn indie dyer called Gorgeous Yarns, which is based in Cornwall, and she's knitting a cigarette, which is a design by Åsa Tricorsa, who is actually Swedish, I think. I've always meant to buy her book, but I've never gotten around to it. But I might have a look at it. But I think looks like she's been doing a series. I have the previous issue because I had a design in the previous issue, but I don't have the one before that. And then it's just like their news pages and stuff at the beginning. And obviously the design that was on the cover. So some really nice designs. This is the kind of design. I like the fact that they do a page that shows you all the designs. So you can see there's some really pretty designs. Yeah, nice issue. I'm looking forward to sitting down and having a proper look at it. It arrived while I was away over the weekend, so I've only had a quick flick through it to see what I had in this issue, because I never remember that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and please leave me a comment. And don't forget the special offer. I will put all the links to that and the details and discount code and everything below this video. And I'll also put the links to any of the yarns that I've mentioned in this video. So I will see you next time. Next week I'll probably have a tutorial of some sort, but I haven't quite decided what yet, so we'll see. If I do a lot of knitting, maybe I'll do another podcast episode, but it'll probably be a tutorial. I've scheduled in a lot of filming this week. I'm planning to, over the next couple of weeks, film quite a few tutorials because in the autumn I'm very busy teaching. I think this is the first autumn since the start of COVID that my workshop schedule is getting back to pre-COVID levels, and usually the autumn is the busiest time of year for me when it comes to teaching, and I've got a lot of workshops coming up this autumn. So if you want to know what those workshops are at the moment, sign up to my newsletter because that's where I'm listing them at the moment. I may also try and get them up on my website. I have workshops coming up at the Knitting Hotel in Dawlish, and most of those are probably going to be fully booked, but they are taking bookings for next year, and I have loads of workshops coming up there for next year. So if you fancy a knitting retreat long weekend in Devon, then check them out. And I'm teaching several workshops at Spinny Yarn in Bovey Tracy and in Devon in this autumn, and I'm also teaching at Stitch Fest, which is in Newton Abbot, the first weekend of November. And I am teaching in my local town, Liskeard in Cornwall, as part of the 3 Bags Full event, which is the first week in October. So I'll put the link to all those websites below. I'll talk more about it next time, I think, because I need to like print it all out and have it all in front of me to remember all of it. But loads of workshops coming up both in Devon and Cornwall. So if you're local, then please check those out. I'll put all the links below. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your knitting, and I will see you next time.